We're coming to you live from the Postal and Telecommunications Regulatory Authority of Zimbabwe, Potraz headquarters right here in Harare, Zimbabwe's capital, for the launch of a revolutionary group communication tool or product called Glue VP. Now, this product is a homegrown solution for group communication, and for this virtual launch, we're graced by the presence of the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services Minister, Dr. Muswere. We're also joined by his Deputy Minister, Honorable Dingimu Ziputi, as well as their Permanent Secretary, Dr. Kundishora. Standing in for the PEMSEC and the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services, we've got the Deputy Director, Crispin Makoni, as well as the Potraz DG, Dr. Machengete. So without wasting a lot of time, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Machengete for his welcome remarks.
Thank you very much. Allow me to begin by welcoming the Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Honorable Jennifer Muswere, the Deputy Minister of ICT, Honorable Poti, the Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of ICT, Dr. Engineer Sam Kundishora, and also the Chief Director in the Ministry of Information, Publicity and Broadcasting, Mr. Crispin Makoni. Also the CEO for the Zimbabwe Council of Higher Education, Professor Peter Nzimbo, who will join us later. The management staff of Potraz, members of the Fourth Estate, and of course invited guests. Honorable Minister, today is a great day for Zimbabwe and a great day for Africa at large. Today we witness the dawn of a new era. Today history is actually being made. What is exciting is that history is being made by one of our own. What is even more exciting is the inspiration and motivation that this day will give to our up and coming innovators, whom as Potraz we are supporting under the National ICT Innovation Drive. From such inspiration, I foresee even much greater things to come from our innovators as the country heads for self-sustainability through the development and use of homegrown digital solutions to our challenges as a nation and also as a continent. Distinguished guests, such self-sustaining homegrown solutions as the phenomenal innovation whose launch we are here to witness could not have come at a much better time as the country and the world at large is grappling with the deadly COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic has changed our way of life by teleporting us all from the physical space to the virtual space. This has created a new normal where virtual meetings have replaced our good old-fashioned face-to-face meetings. And it is for this reason that I find joy and pleasure to welcome you all to the launch of this revolutionary platform, which is specifically tailor-made to solve the security problem for all meetings, including government and diplomatic meetings. I sincerely and warmly welcome you all to the launch of the Glue virtual platform, a virtual platform that is user-friendly, a virtual platform that is cheap, a virtual platform that is convenient, a virtual platform that is African. By way of background, Honorable Minister, Glue virtual platform is the first real-time virtual platform to be conceived and developed in Africa and also by Africans, and for Africa, and even beyond Africa. The global platform, which can be accessed and used by anyone, it can be used by anywhere, at any time, will certainly put Zimbabwe and Africa on the map. Indeed, this latest platform that we will see being launched here today deserves recognition because for a long time, you know, Africa, we have been relying on virtual collaboration and communication platforms developed outside the African continent, such as your Zoom, your Skype, Microsoft Teams, Google Meet, and Cisco WebEx, among others. What is impressive about GLUE, virtual platform, Honorable Minister, is its versatility, as it offers more features on its basic package, and seems to compete favorably with all these other platforms that I've talked about. I will not delve much into the details of these features for fear of maybe preempting the other presentations to come. I'm sure those presentations will also shed some light about the developers of this exceptional platform. All I can say, Honorable Minister, for now, is that this platform is, of course, you know, top-notch. And as I conclude, I would like to encourage and challenge youth from around the country to take a leaf from such thoughtful innovations as the GLUE virtual platform that are targeted at solving real problems that we face and real problems bedeviling the African continent. We should have solutions, our own African solutions to solve our own African problems. I thank you.
Thank you so much, DG, for those brief welcome remarks. It's important for our viewers to note that the GLUE VP developer, Prof. Chinomona, is going to join us later on via GLUE from South Africa. But as you may know, that this broadcast is brought to you by Zimpapers TV Network, as well as our partners, Potraz and the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services. Without wasting much of your time, I'm going to hand over to Engineer Kundishora so that he can introduce our guest of honor today so that he can make his remarks.
Thank you very much, Director of Ceremonies. Good afternoon. I should start by recognizing the presence of Honorable Dr. Jane Square, who is our guest of honor, and also the Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services in the Republic of Zimbabwe. With him, I also should recognize the presence of Honorable the Deputy Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services. I should also recognize the presence of Dr. G.K. Machingete, who is the Director General of Potraz, and the management staff who are actually amongst us this afternoon. I also should recognize the presence of Professor P. Jimbo, who will join us, as has been said earlier on, and also amongst us is the Chief Director in the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting Services, Mr. Makoni. I also should recognize other invited guests who might be here and members of the media who are amongst us. Innovation is indicative of a mind that is active, a mind that is imaginative, and a mind that is exploratory. We gather here today to witness diversity and ingenuity from our own innovators. Our guest of honor today is the Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, as I have said, Honorable Dr. J. Square. In his capacity as the Minister, he envisages the transformation of Zimbabwe into a smart nation through development of digital infrastructure, skills development, particularly in the ICT and digital sector. He also envisages development of ICTs in terms of innovation and industry growth. He is spearheading digital inclusivity where no one is going to be left behind. Our guest of honor, Honorable Mswere, is ZANU-PF Member of Parliament from Makoni West constituency. He also has, before he joined a government in this capacity, brings to government the vast and diverse experience which he gained over many years, working in the mining, construction, and manufacturing sectors in Zimbabwe, and more importantly, in the realm of ICTs. Our guest of honor holds several academic and professional qualifications, Chief Abanga, being a PhD in Management and Business Leadership, and a master's degree in Business Administration. Our guest of honor is a qualified and certified associate of the Institute of Personnel Management of Zimbabwe. He currently is studying for a PhD in Development Studies, majoring in Information and Technology, Information Communication Technology. At this juncture, I would want us all to invite Honorable Dr. James Mswere, our guest of honor, to deliver his address.
Thank you, PS. Honorable Deputy, the Deputy Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Engineer Kondishora, the Director General, Dr. G.K. Machengete, the Chief Director, Mr. Makoni, members of the Fourth Estate. It is a humbling experience and quite an honor to join our online guests as we witness the launch of the first virtual communication and collaboration platform by Zimbabweans. A brainchild of a Zimbabwean-born professor, Richard Chinomona. GLUE-VP is a proudly African product that will afford African governments the opportunity to keep all their information on their government-secured servers. It is indeed a problem solver virtual world. GLUE-VP also provides secure information, quality, and affordable access for users with real-time support and security. Communication on the platform is fitted and secured with an end-to-end encryption to protect users from third-party infiltration. Ladies and gentlemen, the virtual platform we are launching today provides the user a wide range of features such as presentation sharing, video sharing capabilities, multi-user whiteboard, screen sharing, recording, breakout rooms, polling for users, shared notes, public and private chat rooms, amongst others. It is built and intended for use by individuals, entrepreneurs, small to medium scale enterprises, corporates and governments, and their agencies, community and non-profit organizations, churches and educational institutions. This platform comes at a time when the entire world is grappling with the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. It is our hope that GLUE-VP will be a solution to the urgent needs of us to access education at their own time. Access to relatively affordable internet services and the right virtual platforms will make it possible for many learners to achieve the world. The GLUE-VP collaboration and communication platform enables remote, agile teams and institutions to work efficiently by enabling them to schedule daily meetings, to keep team members informed about current tasks, planning and training. It is a comprehensive communication, collaboration, engagement and participation platform ready for use for meetings, government communication, education and training. As the government of Zimbabwe, we are excited by this development as it resonates with our trusts of harnessing ICTs in improving efficiencies and service delivery. The government will continue to provide a conducive environment to encourage the development of homegrown solutions for national development. With these words, it is now my singular honor and privilege to declare the GLUE virtual platform officially launched. Zimbabwe is open for business. I thank you.
Thank you so much to the Minister of ICT, Postal and Courier Services, Dr. J. Muswere. As has been mentioned by other speakers, we're now joined by Professor Ndrimbo, the ZimChe CEO, to give us an introduction of what exactly this product is supposed to do. As you've heard the Minister speaking, has mentioned that it will involve a lot of interesting features, including the fact that learners can now put up emojis as they conduct lessons with their teachers, but we'll hand it over to the Professor to give us a rundown of exactly what it is that this revolutionary product does. Prof. Ndrimbo, we give
Thank you. Honorable Minister, Dr. James Square, I think most of us have been waiting for this day, and we thank you very much for really launching the GLUE virtual platform. I recognize you, Sam. Can I also recognize the Permanent Secretary? And ladies and gentlemen, the GLUE virtual platform comes at a time when the entire education sector, in particular in this country, is yearning for a learning platform which learners in primary and secondary education and students in the higher and tertiary education system are looking for a learning management system that is more open source, so that our learners in primary and secondary school and our students in higher education, our students in tertiary education, anytime, on any device, and 365 days of the year, will be able to access learning materials either from their school or from their tertiary institution, such as a university or a technical college or a polytechnic. As you rightly say, Honorable Minister, what the COVID pandemic has done is to change the way we teach in primary and secondary education and the way we teach in higher and tertiary education. So what the disease has done in terms of education at all levels is to ask us, those of us who are in education, in the business of education, is to ask us to rethink the way we think about teaching and learning, to rethink the way we think about how we assess our learners and our students. As you know, Honorable Minister, most of our students right now in higher education have got access to some e-learning platform. But what the GLUE virtual platform does is to really bring the institution onto the lap of a student or a learner, whether that student or learner is at home. What this platform does, because it is so scalable, so cost-effective, that the entire student population, whether it is primary and secondary or tertiary education, will be able to access. But what this platform also does, Honorable Minister and ladies and gentlemen, is that it has got built-in mechanism for enabling an educator or a lecturer or a professor in a university to build on what already exists So as you are very familiar, Honorable Minister, one of the areas that we in higher education and even secondary and primary education are concerned about is the development of open educational resources, so that our students or learners, wherever they are able to access open educational resources so that they can enhance peer-to-peer learning, so that they can enhance to ensure that learning becomes a social activity that literally takes place 24 hours. But because it enables the development and usage of open educational resources, it gives really at the fingertips of teachers, of academics and lecturers, it gives them an opportunity to begin to build on knowledge that has been created elsewhere, so that in the process, we then contextualize that knowledge to the Zimbabwean context and to the African context. What the virtual learning platform also does, especially for teachers, those teachers will now have an ability to be able to take any content really and customize that content to their classroom, whether it is a grade 7, a Form 4, a Form 6, or a bachelor's degree, or even a master's degree. So what this does, Honorable Minister, and I thank you on behalf of the education sector for launching a platform that joins other platforms. But what makes this platform unique is that it is developed by Professor Shinomona and other Zimbabweans. I have worked with most of these colleagues. What's so basic in terms of how they started this program was to ensure that the business of knowledge, and really just for want of a better term, that the business of knowledge, what we call epistemology, that the business of knowledge is now being localized to the Zimbabwean context, so that Zimbabweans are now consuming something that is produced by Zimbabweans, rather than a situation where we are consuming something that is not produced by us. So this virtual platform opens up new vistas for learners and their teachers, for students in higher and tertiary education, together with their academics or their lecturers and their professors. But what it also does, it puts at the fingertips of teachers and academics in higher and tertiary education to now tailor-make the curriculum so that this curriculum can now be used online by students at all levels of education in the country. And for us, that makes education accessible to our students as long as they have a device. So my plea, and I know our government is doing a lot in this area, is to ensure that even our teachers and our students in rural and peri-urban schools, you've got access to devices that are cost-effective, so that learning takes place anytime, anywhere, and on any device. But when we look at the area that I work in myself, Honorable Minister, which is the area of higher education, what this does is that for academics, for researchers, the potential is limitless, because they now have a virtual platform that they can work with, whether they are in the physical sciences, whether they are in the social sciences, and whether they are in the natural sciences. So the extent to which we are able to maximize the potential of this virtual platform is limitless. So I really want to thank you on behalf of my colleagues, teachers in primary and secondary education, and those of us in higher and tertiary education, that as we say that Zimbabwe is open for business, Zimbabwe is open to ensure that education is accessible to every learner, that education is accessible to anybody in higher and tertiary education. With these few remarks, Honorable Minister, I thank you and I thank our government for making sure that Zimbabweans who are located outside of this country in the diaspora are part and parcel of ensuring that Vision 2030 and our vision of becoming an upper middle class, upper middle income economy by 2030 is realized through education and training. And that Zimbabwe continues in the region to occupy a premier position where we have a very superior education and training system. What virtual platform GNU does is to enhance that capacity of this country and those of us who work in primary and secondary education and in higher and tertiary education. I thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, that was Prof. Mdrimbo speaking passionately about what this platform does for the education sector. He also mentioned that this particular platform also helps educators with breakaway sessions. So just imagine a platform where students are allowed to have group discussions virtually. This is quite going to be one of the biggest developments to ever come out of Zimbabwe virtually. But we're about to go for a break. Before we go to a break, we would like to remind you that this broadcast is brought to you by Zimpapers TV Network, as well as our partners Potraz and the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services. When we come back from the break, we'll have Prof. Chinomona, the man and the brains behind this revolutionary platform, discussing with us and sharing with us exactly how the platform works and why he came to develop such a platform. Some of you may be aware that some of these group communication platforms have got video problems, some have got audio problems, but the man behind this application has told us that this is going to be a game-changing product that will give Zimbabweans a chance to jump over the other problems that the other applications have got. So please do stay with us, and we'll see you shortly after the break. Opening it to the The virtual launch of Glue VP, a virtual and group communication platform that will enable Zimbabweans to communicate better virtually. Now we have the developer Prof. Chinomona on Glue VP right now with us, but we would also want you to take note that this broadcast is brought to you by Zimpapers TV Network, our partners Potraz, as well as the ICT Ministry. We're also streaming live from the Heart and Soul page, the Technomag page, as well as the Potraz Facebook page. Now, Prof. Chinomona, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, my good sister. Thank you so much.
Congratulations on the launch of Glue VP.
No, I'm so glad that we have finally made it. And I want also to pass my thanks to the Honorable Minister Muskwere, who is with us here, and the Deputy Minister Puti, and the Permanent Secretary Kunshora, and the Director General for Potraz. Also, I want to thank the people of Zimbabwe for supporting this product. I want to just make special mention that this product was developed by Africans for Africa and beyond. And in particular, I have Dennis Unganai, is our Chief Developer and Programmer. And this is for all Africans, and we are proud to launch it in Zimbabwe today. Thank you so much.
All right, Prof, it's a pleasure. We'll just get straight into it because we've got questions coming in from our Facebook page. And the main concern that has been raised is that I'll read a question from Efarai Mudzingwa off our Facebook page. He says that his main concern is that he does not see much of a difference between existing platforms. If the only difference is that this was made by Africans for Africans, how are you going to penetrate the market? So this is a question to you. What is the main difference between Glue VP and the other group communication platforms that are already there, like Skype as well as Zoom?
Okay. No, thank you for that question. Indeed, our product, we believe it's unique, and we are going even to make it more different from other virtual platforms. For now, we provide what we call the breakout rooms. So if you are running a class, say for a class for 50 students, and you want them to have the group discussions, you can actually be able to have breakout rooms up to 8, where they can discuss in groups, and then they can come back, and you can continue with the class. And as they are in their groups, the facilitator can actually oversee what is happening, what they are discussing, and just like in a physical classroom. So a physical classroom environment brought onto the virtual realm. That's how good it is. The other thing is that you might also have noticed that virtual platforms, they actually realize the security nature of data, and we said, let's make a platform that governments of Africa can actually take control and charge of their data, or even big companies who feel that we have our server and we want our data to be actually kept in our server. We can make that possible. However, for the general public, we still have a dedicated server that is very secure. We can testify to that, and this makes us more unique from other platforms. No other platform so far that has customized the hosting of data.
All right, Prof, thank you so much. But I'm sure you're, of course, aware that Zoom also allows 50 breakaway sessions for participants. So apart from the fact that you're saying that Glue VP is secure in terms of data storage, what else makes it unique? Or in your view, what is the other fascinating feature that you can share with us this afternoon?
Yes, I might actually even share with you that we have adopted about 7 phases of innovation and development of this platform. This is just phase 1. And in our second phase, we are going to see the hologram technology integrated here. You are going to have the live translation also done. Somebody in Japan can speak in Japan, and you choose the language of your choice to hear the person speaking. So you can hear somebody speaking Japanese here in English on our platform. You can speak in your language, and somebody hears in a language of their choice. So there are many other unique features that we have lined up for integration. So just check on us. very soon you will really see that we are really in this business and we are serious about it, and we are going to take Africa and beyond by storm.
Thank you so much for your response, Prof. We also have Farim Zingwa also asking again, I quote, can people pay for Glue VP via local payment platforms such as EcoCash? Have you made provision for this yet?
Indeed. We have actually made an integration of wallets. So it's not only wallets from SADC, from South Africa, from Zimbabwe, but across the African continent. We have that integrated in our system. So we can rest assure you that you can pay from wherever you are, whether by wallets, by bank cards, by any means that you want to pay with.
All right, Prof, thank you so much. Then just before we say goodbye to you, I'll ask my panel here if anyone has anything that they want to say to you. This is the moment that you've all been waiting for, panelists. If you have anything that you need to share with Prof. Chinomona, this is your time. Panel. No takers?
No.
Prof.
Professor Chinomona, congratulations.
Thank you, Prof.
I'm very keen on the language aspect. As a teacher, I dream of a day that a Form 6 student who's doing physics can do that physics in their home language. The same as you know so well yourself as a former teacher. When you learn in English, if your mother tongue is Shona, there is something we call cognitive dissonance that takes place in the mind of the learner. So I'm extremely keen and very pleased that there is that language aspect. So I really would want to encourage you and your developer to make sure that across the African continent, and obviously charity begins at home, you start with us here in Zimbabwe, so that our students who speak Isindebele, who speak Shona, or any other language, can learn mathematics in primary school, in secondary school, even our students in the higher and tertiary education sector. Because language is implicated in how students access knowledge, either from a textbook, or online, or from a lecturer. So I really congratulate you and would want to push you to really expand this aspect of the virtual learning platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was Prof. Ndrimbo. Thank you. That was Prof. Ndrimbo. We'll ask the other panelists, engineer, anyone, any parting words to Prof. Chinomona before we go?
Congratulations, Prof. Chinomona. I think my comment is with regards to the resident of your application. You speak definitely of various languages, but are you going to have your application resident in South Africa, in Zimbabwe, or in all other countries? How have you structured the presence of this particular application? Also taking into account the aspects of the linguistic diversities and the need to develop or at least offer your application in local languages.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Our desire is that we want to present ourselves and brand ourselves as an African product, because we believe we are all Africans. And the idea is that by the end of our phases of innovation and development, we should be able to have all African languages captured well, and that they must be able to learn in the language of that they are comfortable with. And also, since we have also has indicated the issue of learning and education, I want also to reiterate that the other reason why we want this platform to be used also mainly also in the education sector. You know, our education sector seems to have this bias that they are well-resourced in schools, and some schools are not well-resourced. So the best teachers usually are found in those schools that are well-resourced. But with this platform, it breaks the boundaries, the barriers to access to higher quality education. Any lecturer or any teacher, facilitator from any university, a professor from one university who is known to be best in mathematics, can actually teach all universities in Zimbabwe, for example, in mathematics, and all that they have to do is to synchronize their timetables and the class time. So at the end of it, we have all our students from disadvantaged backgrounds learning from the best people, best professors, best lecturers the country can ever provide. So that's the beauty with this platform. It's meant also to promote barriers to access to higher quality education. And the language also is a typical barrier that we want in our next phase of innovation and development. We want to make sure that we integrate that hologram technology. And it is more to it that I cannot maybe speak here. But all those concerns you have raised, I can assure you that we are attending to them, funds permitting.
All right, Prof, thank you so much for joining us here today for the virtual launch of Glue VP. And to our viewers, thank you so much. You were watching the launch of Glue VP, the virtual launch of Glue VP, a revolutionary group communication product that was developed by Zimbabwean Professor Richard Chinomona, who we just spoke to just now. This broadcast was brought to you by Zimpapers TV Network, as well as our partners Potraz and the Ministry of ICT, Postal and Courier Services. We were also streaming live on the Technomag page, the Heart and Soul page, as well as the Potraz page. We do hope that you enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, ZTV, for hosting the launch of Blue VP. And we believe that this is the beginning of many things to come. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.